We're on the phone today with WWE superstar Zoey Stark. She'll be coming to Minneapolis here with WWE Raw, coming to the Target Center on August 7th. Zoey, how's it going today?
I'm good, Dustin. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, I know WWE Raw is coming to the Target Center in Minneapolis August 7th. First of all, have you wrestled much in Minnesota over your career?
No, I haven't. This will be my first time in Minnesota in general.
Okay. Yeah, definitely a great wrestling history here, and I'm sure the fans are excited to see you, and I know there's a lot of fans here, so it should be a good show.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be fun.
Well, I know it's been about 10 years since you became a professional. As far as high-caliber women on the scene now, it seems like your timing really making it to the WWE. It couldn't have been better for you.
It was perfect for me. It worked out perfectly with all the hardships and everything on the indie circuit on my way up to WWE. You know, it was all well worth it.
And I know when you made your debut in NXT, you were involved with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I mean, that's a pretty high-profile way to make your debut as well.
Yeah, it really is. I was teamed up with Marina Shafir. We had a great time with each other, and I was a part of the first ever Women's Dusty Cup, so that's really cool to be able to actually say. And then right after that, I was able to go up against Io Sky and become a tag champion with her. So I feel like I had a great run in NXT.
It does seem like a lot of the women that you were working with back then have also made the transition to the main roster, so that's got to be cool for you guys, kind of behind the scenes, to know that you're on the right track.
Oh yeah, for sure. And being able to have like some history with some of these girls on the main roster front, you know, NXT to main roster is really cool. And it makes it a little bit more comfortable too when you make that transition from NXT to Raw, to where you know some people and you could kind of figure things out with them and ask them questions.
Well, Zoey, how's that transition been for you to the main roster? Is there much culture shock, I guess, when you make that move over?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's culture shock, I guess, is more just from the traveling more than anything else, because everyone behind the scenes have been super cool, very laid back and helping me out so much. But the hardest part was the travel and trying to figure out, because obviously I'm a big gym rat, so trying to find time to work out and trying to find the right place to eat to stay healthy, that's the hardest part. Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people, they watch you on TV and they think it's a glamorous lifestyle being a wrestler on television. But as you mentioned, you got the travel and worrying about where to eat, and on your off time, you got to talk to guys like me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. You know, we maybe only spend, we'll say 10 minutes on TV, and then the rest of it's really you're traveling from point A to point B and then waking up early to do interviews and a lot of community service and things like that. So there's a lot more to it than just being inside of the square circle.
And again, a WWE Raw is coming to the Target Center in Minneapolis August 7th. And Zoey, since you've made the move, I mean, you've been in the Royal Rumble and in Money in the Bank. You've really kind of had the rocket strapped to you here as things have gone.
I really have. They're testing me to see if I sink or swim, and I feel like I'm swimming right now.
And I know you've been paired up with Trish Stratus. That's got to be great for you to be paired up with someone who has had the career and the experience that she has. As you mentioned, being able to ask somebody for help definitely couldn't be a better person than Trish Stratus.
For sure. She's been absolutely just amazing, being able to help me out and just guiding me on how things are done on main roster. And she, she's my mentor on screen, but she's my mentor off screen as well. You know, we sit there and we talk about ideas, and she kind of critiques certain things, and she's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that has to be awesome for you as a younger wrestler. I mean, Trish Stratus, Lita, and those wrestlers kind of have to be like your Sherry Martel or your Medusa Maselli. I mean, these kind of people you grew up watching. Is that weird for you to kind of stand back and realize what you're up to these days?
Oh, man, yeah. There was, like, when I have a bad day sometimes, I just sit there and I'm like, hold on. Like, on Monday, I get to go into work, the thing I've dreamed about doing my entire life, where I get to go to Raw and perform in front of millions of people. And not only that, I get to sit next to Trish Stratus, who was somebody I grew up watching and I looked up to. So it's really like a pinch yourself moment, and when you remind yourself of that, it's like I get taken back, and I'm like, oh man, it's hard for me to even explain how it feels because it's just so incredible.
And it must be great for them to be back, Trish especially, to be on kind of a second run here, because she was in the wrestling side of things, but then, as you know, for a stretch there was a lot of like pillow fights and more nonsense, and now it's really taken seriously as far as women wrestling goes.
Oh yeah, we're taken seriously just like the guys now, which is, it's because Trish Stratus did the things that she did and things that she had to go through. She broke a lot of barriers, and now us women can be taken seriously in main event Raw, main event SmackDown, and WrestleMania, and all these different shows.
Well, Zoey, I know you've worked with a lot of people already, since you've been to the WWE, but are there maybe a few people in particular you're hoping to maybe have a match with down the road?
For sure. Off the top of my head, number one, Rhea Ripley. I want to wrestle her so bad. The other one is Bianca Belair. She's absolutely amazing in the ring, and she's like Rhea Ripley and Bianca, they've been killing it. They're firing on all cylinders right now, and they're just getting started. I can't imagine what they're going to be like in a couple of years.
Well, and with the way things have been going for you, I'm sure you'll be there sooner than later. And I know you'll be at SummerSlam coming up in Detroit. That's the weekend before Raw in Minneapolis. And I got to say, I was there for WrestleMania 23 with 80,000 some people. How do you handle working in front of a crowd that size? Do you get maybe stage fright or anything like that before you go out?
I definitely I get so incredibly nervous, and I freak myself out on the little things. It's like, man, I don't want to screw this up because we're in front of so many people. But the moment I hear my music and I go out there, there's just something that kind of like, oh, I belong here. This is what I'm supposed to do. Like it starts clicking for me.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure it'll be more of the same down the road here. And again, I know you'll be at Target Center here in Minneapolis. Before I let you go, Zoey, I want to ask you if there was somebody maybe from the past that you could work with. Who would that be? Could you name a person or two?
Yeah, for sure. Lita's definitely one, but also Victoria. I would love to work with Victoria at some point.
Yeah, I guess it's not out of the question that either one of those might be somebody you could wrestle down the road. So hopefully that'll pan out for you. Awesome. Zoey, again, it's been great speaking with you, and continued success for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Target Center here August 7th.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time.
And again, that was Zoey Stark from the WWE, as WWE Raw is coming to the Target Center in Minneapolis on August 7th.